Welcome back to the Nomis Hunter, where today we dive into one of the most mind-blowing stories in modern coin collecting. A tale so astonishing that it continues to send shockwaves through the numismatic world. And if you love rare coins, mysterious minting blunders, and the thrill of uncovering hidden treasures, then you're in exactly the right place, because today we're talking about a 1974 dime that has been linked to an unbelievable value of over $103 million due to its bizarre errors, unusual minting circumstances, and the extremely rare possibilities that surround its creation, making it one of the most talked about pieces in the hobby and a coin that collectors dream of discovering in pocket change. And as we dive deeper into this extraordinary story, you'll see exactly why this dime became such an iconic numismatic legend. Starting with the strange and almost unbelievable error characteristics that separate this coin from every normal dime minted in 1974. Because this isn't just a misaligned strike or a typical off-center piece, but something far more dramatic. A combination of mint mistakes so rare that experts say the odds of them occurring at the same time are nearly impossible, creating an ultra-unique coin with a profile unlike anything ever seen before, beginning with the possibility that the coin was struck on the wrong planchet. And not just any wrong planchet, but potentially a foreign one, or even a transitional test piece from experimental alloy. Testing that the mint is believed to have conducted quietly during the early 1970s, meaning the dime may have been created from metal never intended for circulation, giving it an odd weight, an unusual color tone, and a distinctive ring that immediately caught expert attention and sparked heated debate among collectors. Because when a dime is struck on the wrong planchet, it already becomes rare. But when combined with a series of other unexplained errors, the value skyrockets into territory, normally reserved only for once-in-a-lifetime finds. And this 1974 dime is believed to exhibit multiple overlapping mistakes, including double striking so strong that portions of the design appear shifted, repeated, or ghost-like, making the portrait and inscriptions appear as though they were struck twice at slightly different angles. Another clue that something unusual happened on the minting floor that day, possibly during a mechanical malfunction or a moment when the press jammed and then reactivated, creating a layered impression that experts consider extremely valuable. And as if that alone weren't enough, there are reports that the dime also shows signs of a broad strike, meaning the coin was struck without the collar that normally keeps it perfectly round, giving the edges an expanded, slightly stretched appearance that collectors instantly recognize as a premium error. And when double striking, wrong planchet, broad strike, and unusual metal composition affect the same coin, it becomes a numismatic event because the chances of all those conditions aligning are almost zero. And this is one of the key reasons experts say the 1974 dime in question might legitimately justify a valuation as high as $103 million. Because rarity in numismatics is not simply about age, but about uniqueness. And when only one known example of a coin exists with these precise characteristics, its value becomes theoretical and essentially limitless, depending on how far collectors are willing to compete to own it. But beyond the mechanical errors, the mystery deepens further because some believe the coin may have escaped the mint under unusual circumstances, perhaps due to a test batch being fed into circulation accidentally, or maybe even because of a mint worker unintentionally allowing an experimental piece to leave the facility. A scenario that has happened before in numismatic history with famous rarities like the 1933 Double Eagle and the 1913 Liberty Nickel, both of which owe part of their enormous value to the secrecy and controversy around how they exited the mint. And the 1974 dime situation echoes that same pattern, which adds intrigue, speculation, and dramatic storytelling to its already explosive value potential. And each layer of mystery enhances the coin's status among collectors because a legendary backstory can elevate a rare coin into an icon. And in this case, The whispers about the Mint's experimental alloy testing program and the possibility that the dime might have been part of an unreleased batch of trial strikes only fuels the frenzy among high-end collectors who would pay fortunes for a piece of numismatic history that should not even exist, making the coin's theoretical value reach astronomical levels, with some estimating numbers like $103 million due to its unique combination of impossibility, rarity, and controversy. And when you think about the demand for one-of-a-kind error coins, especially those with dramatic visual differences, minting anomalies, metallic variants, and a mysterious origin, it becomes clear why this 1974 dime stands in a category of its own, and collectors around the world agree that if a coin has unmatched features, visually stunning errors, and a backstory that can never be replicated, then it becomes priceless, not because of its metal, but because of its story. And this dime's story is packed with so many astonishing elements that even the most seasoned experts remain fascinated, debating its origin, trying to reverse engineer the minting conditions that may have caused such an unbelievable combination of mistakes, analyzing the strike pressure, the die alignment, the temperature of the alloy, and the traces of unusual elements within the metal, all of which contribute to its legendary status. And then there's the factor of survival, because most dramatic mint errors are caught instantly and destroyed, meaning almost none reach the public. So the very fact that this piece survived, escaped detection, and landed in private hands is nearly miraculous, giving it the aura of a forbidden artifact, something not meant to be seen, which only increases its desirability among collectors who live for these once-in-a-generation discoveries. And when a coin has such extreme rarity that it cannot be replaced, duplicated, or matched, it transforms from currency into an artifact, from a dime into a treasure. And its potential value reflects that transformation, continuing to climb as more people learn about the story, the errors, the metal anomaly, the double strike, the broad strike, and the unusual origin. And because the coin world thrives on mystery, rarity, and the thrill of discovery, this 1974 dime sits at the center of that excitement, representing the ultimate dream find for anyone searching through pocket change, rolls, or old collections. Because knowing that something as small and ordinary as a dime could secretly be worth millions gives collectors hope, motivation, and endless curiosity. And that is why this legendary coin continues to captivate the world, spark discussion, fuel speculation, and inspire new collectors to join the hunt. Because anything is possible in numismatics, and the next life-changing discovery might be sitting in the palm of your hand right now, reminding us all why this hobby is filled with wonder, excitement, and limitless possibility. And as long as coins like this 1974 error dime exist, the quest for hidden treasures will never end, keeping collectors worldwide searching, exploring, and dreaming of uncovering the next priceless piece that rewrites numismatic history and proves once again that in the world of rare coins, surprises never stop. Miracles do happen, and a single extraordinary dime can change everything. Next, 1988 P dime that has been linked to an astonishing value of $19 million due to a combination of extremely rare errors, mysterious minting anomalies, and impossible-to-replicate mistakes that transform an ordinary 10-cent coin into one of the most fascinating and sought-after error pieces ever reported. And as we take you through this incredible journey, get ready to explore how a simple 1988 P dime could become a legendary coin capable of shaking the entire numismatic world. Because when a coin mixes dramatic visual errors with hidden minting flaws and a backstory filled with intrigue, its value reaches heights that collectors dream of, starting with the unusual conditions that make this specific dime so extraordinary, beginning with the first major anomaly that experts believe sets this coin apart from the regular 1988 Philadelphia Mint strikes: the wrong planchet possibility. because some collectors and analysts who examined early reports claim the coin may have been struck on a foreign or transitional planchet, giving it an incorrect weight, slightly different metallic composition, and a strange surface texture that instantly raised red flags among seasoned numismatists. And when a dime is struck on the wrong planchet, especially one never intended for circulation in the United States, its rarity skyrockets since such mistakes are almost always caught before leaving the mint, making any surviving piece a miracle. And this alone could generate immense value. But the story goes far beyond a simple wrong planchet error, because this 1988 P dime is also believed to display a powerful double strike that causes parts of the design, such as Roosevelt's profile, the date, and the inscriptions, to appear duplicated or slightly shifted, creating a ghosted or layered appearance that instantly signals a major mint malfunction, and when a coin receives a second strike out of alignment. The result is a dramatic visual error that collectors absolutely love because it tells a story of mechanical malfunction at the precise moment the coin was minted, and such errors rarely escape the mint without being detected, making them extremely valuable when found in circulation. And as if that weren't enough, this particular dime is also rumored to exhibit a broad strike error, meaning it was struck without the retaining collar that normally keeps the coin perfectly round, causing it to expand outward slightly, flattening the rim and giving it a stretched appearance. And when a broad strike occurs alongside a double strike and a wrong planchet error, the combination becomes so unlikely that experts say the odds of all three happening on the same coin are nearly impossible, which is exactly why this dime story has captured the imagination of collectors everywhere, because it defies logic, statistics, and the mint's standard quality control procedures. And these overlapping errors create a perfect storm of rarity, making this coin a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly. But the intrigue deepens further when some experts note tiny traces of misaligned die strikes, suggesting that the dies may have shifted slightly between strikes, creating a distorted or tilted impression on certain areas of the coin, another sign of mint equipment malfunction or sudden mechanical misalignment, which is extremely rare, and when combined with the previously mentioned errors, it pushes this dime further into the realm of numismatic legend. And there are even whispers in the collector community about the possibility that the dime might have been part of a test batch or experimental alloy trial, which occasionally occurred at the mint during the 1980s, meaning the coin might have been struck under unusual conditions never meant for public release. And if that is true, the rarity multiplies because coins from test batches are almost never authorized for circulation and usually destroyed. So the very idea that one might have slipped into the public's hands adds a layer of mystery and controversy that increases collector demand dramatically. And controversies in numismatics have historically boosted the value of rare pieces, with iconic examples such as the 1933 Double Eagle and 1913 Liberty Nickel achieving enormous worth partially due to the secrecy and drama surrounding their origins. And this 1988 P dime follows that same pattern with its blend of mechanical errors, potential experimental connections, and unexplained escape from the mint, all factors that elevate its status from rare to mythical. Because when a coin carries this level of mystery and anomaly, it becomes more than just currency. It becomes a historical artifact that represents a moment of minting chaos frozen in metal, and collectors pay incredible premiums for coins that tell such unique stories, which is why experts estimate the theoretical value of this piece at as much as $19 million. Not because of its metal content, but because of its irreplaceability, uniqueness, and the impossibility of another example existing with the same combination of errors. And when you consider how strict minting standards were in the late 1980s, it becomes even more baffling how such a coin could escape detection, survive circulation, and eventually reach the hands of collectors who recognized its extraordinary nature. because most errors of this scale are destroyed immediately, making surviving examples unbelievably rare. And this rarity is what fuels the massive value collectors assigned to it, because unlike mass-produced coins, error coins like this are the result of split-second accidents, mechanical failures, or procedural mishaps that cannot be intentionally reproduced, meaning each error coin is one of a kind. And when a coin is truly unique, its value becomes limited only by how much collectors are willing to pay for it. And in the case of this 1988p dime, the combination of wrong planchet, double strike, broad strike, dime misalignment, possible alloy, experimentation, and a mysterious escape from the mint creates a scenario so extraordinary that even seasoned numismatists struggle to fully explain how it happened, adding to its allure. And the more unexplained a coin is, the more collectors chase it, hoping to own a piece of minting history that defies logic. And the excitement surrounding discoveries like this inspires collectors everywhere, reminding them that life-changing finds can still appear unexpectedly in pocket change, inherited collections, coin rolls, or old forgotten stashes, renewing hope that the next million-dollar treasure could be discovered by anyone at any moment. And this sense of limitless possibility is what keeps the coin collecting world alive with energy, curiosity, and passion, because each new story of an impossible coin reinforces the idea that hidden treasures still exist, waiting for the right eyes to notice them. And as long as coins like this 1988p error dime continue to surface, collectors will never stop searching, exploring, and dreaming, because the thrill of uncovering something truly rare cannot be matched. And this dime's unbelievable story serves as a reminder that even the smallest coin can carry unimaginable value when its errors, anomalies, and origins converge in a way that breaks all expectations, turning a simple 10-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar marvel that captures the imagination of the entire numismatic community and keeps the spirit of discovery alive for generations to come. Next, 2000D dime that has been associated with an eye-popping value of $7 million due to a series of shocking minting errors, rare mechanical mishaps, and almost impossible circumstances that make this ordinary-looking coin one of the most intriguing treasures ever rumored in the coin collecting world. And if you love the thrill of discovering coins that hide extraordinary secrets, if you enjoy exploring the fascinating world of mint mistakes, and if you're always on the hunt for the next major numismatic surprise, then stay tuned, because this unbelievable 2000D dime might be one of the most fascinating error pieces you will ever hear about, starting with how a simple Roosevelt dime struck in the year 2000 at the Denver Mint could rise to such phenomenal value. And it all begins with the first major anomaly that experts and collectors believe sets this coin apart from the millions of regular strikes that left the mint that same year: the possibility that the coin was struck on the wrong planchet. Not just any wrong planchet, but potentially a foreign planchet or leftover blank from a discontinued test batch, which would give the coin an unusual weight, a slightly different metallic composition, and a unique surface texture unlike normal clad dimes, making it instantly stand out to those who study error coins. And because wrong planchet errors are extremely rare, especially in the 2000s when mint quality control systems were more advanced than in earlier decades, the survival of such a piece is already improbable. But this dime's story goes far beyond just a wrong planchet, because reports from collectors suggest the coin may also exhibit an extreme off-center strike, where Roosevelt's portrait and the date appear pushed toward one edge of the coin, leaving a blank crescent of metal on the opposite side. A dramatic visual error that instantly increases value due to its eye-catching appearance and the rarity of such mistakes escaping the mint. And as if that weren't enough, there are claims that this rare dime also shows signs of being double-struck, meaning it was struck once, then struck again without the coin being properly repositioned, creating ghosted images, overlapping lettering, and a distorted portrait that collectors consider incredibly desirable, because double strikes tell the story of sudden mechanical malfunction or a momentary misalignment inside the minting press. And the combination of a double strike with an off-center strike and a wrong planchet already pushes this coin into a realm of near impossibility. But this coin's legend grows even deeper because some observers believe the coin may have also been broad-struck, meaning the collar that normally holds the coin in place during the strike malfunctioned or was missing altogether, allowing the metal to expand outward, creating a slightly wider, flatter coin with distorted rims. Another rare and valuable error that shows a major mechanical failure during the minting process. And when you stack broad strike, off-center strike, double strike, and wrong planchet anomalies on the same coin, the odds of such a sequence are nearly non-existent, making this dime one of the rarest error combinations imaginable. And that is exactly why this coin has achieved legendary status in numismatic circles. Because when errors layer on top of each other like this, the coin transforms from a simple mint mistake into a once-in-a-generation artifact, something that should never exist under normal mint conditions. And this impossibility is precisely what excites collectors and drives values into the millions. But the intrigue does not end with mechanical mistakes, because some experts suggest that this dime may also have been struck using misaligned dies, creating slight rotational or angular shifts in the design, making the portrait, lettering, and torch on the reverse appear twisted or tilted. A diagnostic clue that adds yet another layer of complexity to the coins. Minting history and dime misalignment errors, while occasionally seen alone, are incredibly rare when combined with other extreme errors, which only strengthens the theoretical value of this coin. And then there's the possibility that the dime originated from a transitional testing period at the Denver Mint, because the shift between decades often includes experiments with dyes, metals, and production methods. And within numismatic history, there are known cases of experimental or transition coins accidentally escaping the mint, becoming priceless rarities once discovered. And if this 2000 D dime was part of such an experimental batch that was never intended to leave the mint, that secret history alone would make it unimaginably valuable, because coins that escape from restricted testing phases often become some of the most sought-after pieces in the world, as seen with several legendary coins throughout history. And in this case, the mystery surrounding how such a severely flawed coin could leave the mint undetected fuels the fascination. Because modern minting technology is designed to catch dramatic errors instantly, meaning the very existence of this dime suggests that something unusual happened behind the scenes. Whether it was a momentary lapse in quality control, a mechanical failure too sudden for detection, or even the possibility that the coin left the mint through unconventional means. Much like other famous rarities whose origins remain debated by experts. And this element of mystery only intensifies collector demand, because numismatists love coins with backstories that cannot be fully explained. And the more questions surrounding a coin's creation, the more desirable it becomes, especially when it possesses extreme visual errors that even beginners can immediately notice, making it both a conversation piece and a numismatic treasure. And this combination of dramatic appearance, mechanical impossibility, and historical mystery is precisely what fuels the theoretical valuation of $7 million, because a coin like this would not only be unique, but historically important, representing a perfect storm of minting chaos captured forever in metal. And when a coin is truly one of a kind, collectors and high-end investors will pay astonishing premiums to own it, especially when its visual characteristics tell a dramatic story of minting gone wrong. And this 2000D error dime appears to do exactly that, offering multiple striking anomalies that, each on their own, could be valuable, but together create a masterpiece of minting failure that may never be seen again. And when you consider that millions of people handle pocket change every day without ever realizing the potential hidden within those tiny pieces of metal, stories like this ignite hope and excitement in collectors everywhere, reminding them that treasures still exist, waiting to be found, tucked away in forgotten jars. Old piles of change or rolled coins from the bank, and this is exactly why numismatics remains one of the most thrilling hobbies in the world, because the next multimillion-dollar discovery could be sitting in someone's dresser drawer, unnoticed, until the right person takes a closer look. And as long as extraordinary errors like this 2000D dime continue to surface, the thrill of the hunt will keep collectors searching tirelessly, examining every detail, flipping every coin, studying every anomaly, because the world of coins is full of surprises, mysteries, and hidden fortunes. And this dime's unbelievable story serves as a powerful reminder that even the smallest coin can hold unimaginable value when the right combination of errors, mistakes, and strange circumstances come together to create a rarity so extreme that it defies belief, inspires awe, and fuels the passion of every treasure hunter who dreams of finding the next great numismatic legend. Next, 1987 D dime rumored to be worth an astonishing $45 million due to a combination of shocking mint errors, mysterious mechanical breakdowns, and nearly impossible circumstances that turned an ordinary 10-cent coin into one of the most extraordinary treasures ever discussed in the coin world. And if you love the thrill of discovering hidden gems, if you're fascinated by rare mint mistakes, and if you enjoy the excitement of imagining life-changing discoveries tucked away in everyday change, then you're in exactly the right place, because this 1987 D dime has captured the imagination of collectors everywhere. Not just because of its dramatic visual errors, but because of the incredible mystery surrounding how such a flawed piece could ever have left the Denver Mint. And to understand why this dime is tied to such an eye-popping value, we have to start at the first major anomaly that sets it apart: the strong possibility that the coin was struck on the wrong planchet, something that instantly boosts rarity, because when a dime is minted on a blank mint for another denomination or even a foreign coin, the result is a piece with an incorrect weight, a strange metallic ring, an odd texture, or even a slightly different color tone. And these characteristics get the attention of seasoned numismatists immediately, because wrong planchet errors are among the rarest known, especially during the later 1980s, when minting procedures were far more refined, and the survival of such a mistake from 1987 already pushes rarity into the extraordinary. But the story gets much more intense, because detailed examinations and reports suggest that this 1987 D dime may also show heavy off-center striking, perhaps as much as 40 to 70%, which means Roosevelt's portrait and the legend are pushed drastically toward one edge of the coin, leaving a dramatic blank crescent on the opposite side. An error that collectors love because it is visually stunning, instantly recognizable, and almost impossible to overlook. And when an off-center strike of this magnitude escapes the mint, it proves something significant went wrong in the striking chamber that day. A mechanical error severe enough that the coin should have been destroyed immediately. And yet this one appears to have survived. And if that wasn't enough, the dime reportedly also carries signs of being double struck, meaning it was hit twice by the dies, but not aligned properly on the second strike, causing overlapping or ghosted lettering, distorted facial details, and shadowed impressions that give the coin a dramatic layered appearance. And double strikes alone can fetch huge premiums. But when combined with a heavy off-center strike and a wrong planchet error, the rarity skyrockets into absolute impossibility, which is exactly why collectors theorize that this dime may be one of the most unique pieces ever created at the Denver Mint. But the layering of errors does not stop there, because additional examination suggests that the coin might also display broad strike characteristics, meaning the collar that normally controls the shape of the coin failed, or was missing entirely during the strike, causing the coin to spread outward slightly, creating a wider, flatter appearance with weak or missing rims. A sign not just a mechanical malfunction, but of complete failure of the retaining system that ensures consistency in United States coinage, and the odds of a coin being wrong planchet, off, center, double struck, and broad struck all at once are so astronomically low that experts say the chances of such a sequence occurring naturally are practically zero, which is precisely why this coin has reached legendary status among numismatists who understand how rare it is for even two major errors to appear on the same coin, let alone four. And this is only the beginning, because even more puzzling clues have been reported, such as the possibility of rotated die alignment, meaning that the front and back of the coin do not line up correctly when flipped, a sign of die misalignment that further proves severe mechanical instability during minting. And these types of errors usually occur only when the machinery experiences a sudden, unexpected malfunction, and such events almost never allow heavily flawed coins to escape into circulation, making this dime's survival even more unbelievable. And because of the unusual amount of errors present on this single coin, some experts speculate that it may have been produced during a test run or experimental phase of the Denver Mint equipment during the late 1980s, and historical records show that during this period, certain mints performed calibration tests, die trials, and mechanical adjustments, any of which could have resulted in experimental or test strikes not intended for the public. And if this 1987 D dime originated from such a phase, it would explain the dramatic and almost chaotic combination of errors seen on the coin, and experimental pieces that accidentally leave the mint often become some of the rarest and most valuable coins in existence, because they were never meant to survive, let alone circulate. And this brings us to the most mysterious question surrounding this dime. How did a coin with so many glaring errors escape the mint without being caught, destroyed, or pulled from production? Especially during a time when quality control measures were far more advanced than in earlier decades. And this question is what fuels so much speculation among collectors, with some believing that the coin may have slipped through during a shift change, equipment malfunction, production reset, or even the accidental mixing of rejected test strikes with regular output. And because these scenarios are extremely rare, but not impossible, they add a layer of intrigue and secrecy that drives collector interest even higher. Because coins with mysterious origins and controversial backstories often achieve some of the highest values in the numismatic market. And the idea that this dime may be a lone survivor of a moment of minting chaos makes it priceless to collectors who chase one-of-a-kind errors. But the true power behind its rumored $45 million valuation lies not only in the number of errors, but in the visual impact, because error coins that are extremely noticeable, dramatic, and immediately identifiable command the highest premiums. And this coin reportedly possesses all of those qualities in extreme form, making it a dream piece for any collector, investor, or museum seeking to own a historically significant mint anomaly that cannot be duplicated under normal circumstances. And because error coins are created by chance rather than design, the uniqueness of each piece adds tremendous value, and a coin with this many anomalies may genuinely be one of a kind, meaning there is no other known 1987 D dime in existence with the same combination of mistakes. And when rarity reaches absolute singularity, there is no limit to how high collectors are willing to bid, especially high-end buyers who understand the significance of owning a coin that represents a complete breakdown in minting processes. And the story surrounding this dime continues to inspire collectors everywhere, because it reminds them that unbelievable treasures can still hide in everyday change, waiting to be discovered by someone curious enough to look closely. And extraordinary finds like this fuel the excitement of the hobby, encouraging people to search through their pocket change, coin jars, inherited collections, and bankrolls, hoping to uncover a piece that could change their life forever. And as long as coins like this legendary 1987 D-era dime continue to spark conversation and speculation, the world of numismatics will remain filled with wonder, excitement, and the thrilling possibility that the next multimillion-dollar discovery could be just one coin away, sitting unnoticed in the palm of someone's hand, ready to reveal its unbelievable history and rewrite the meaning of rarity in the coin collecting universe. Next, 2000p dime that has been associated with a staggering value of $4 million due to a rare combination of mint errors, mechanical anomalies, and nearly impossible circumstances that transformed an ordinary 10-cent coin into one of the most fascinating error pieces ever discussed. And if you're someone who loves the thrill of hidden treasures, the excitement of discovering coins with shocking mistakes, and the possibility that life-changing riches might be hiding in everyday change, then this journey into the world of rare error coins is exactly what you need. Because the 2000p dime is not just any error coin, it's a perfect storm of mistakes, mishaps, and mysteries that have captivated collectors everywhere. And to understand how such a coin could reach such unbelievable value, we begin with the first major anomaly experts believe sets this coin apart: the possibility that it was struck on the wrong planchet, something that instantly raises its rarity because when a dime is minted on a blank intended for another denomination or even a foreign coin, its weight, color, texture, and metallic sound become noticeably different from normal Roosevelt dimes. And during the year 2000, the Philadelphia Mint was working with millions of various coin blanks, making it extremely rare, but still possible for an incorrect planchet to be fed into the dime production press. And because the Mint had far more advanced quality control systems by this time, the survival of a wrong planchet dime from 2000 is incredibly unlikely, which already makes this coin extremely special. But the story grows much more extraordinary because reports suggest that the 2000p dime also shows dramatic off-center striking, with the design pushed significantly toward one side and leaving a visible blank crescent on the opposite edge, an eye-catching error that immediately attracts collectors due to its bold appearance. And off-center strikes of this magnitude rarely escape detection, which adds even more intrigue to this coin's existence. But the layers of anomaly do not end there, because the dime may also exhibit signs of being double-struck, meaning that after the first strike, the coin shifted or rotated slightly before being struck a second time, creating a ghosted image, overlapping lettering, and a distorted portrait that make the coin visually incredible and numismatically priceless. And these dramatic design distortions are precisely the type of errors that collectors chase, not just because of their beauty, but because of their extreme rarity and the combination of a wrong planchet, off-center strike, and double strike already pushes this coin into the realm of nearly impossible minting events. But this dime story becomes even more compelling when you consider that it may also show broad strike characteristics, meaning the retaining collar used to control the shape of the coin during striking either malfunctioned or was completely missing, allowing the metal to expand outward and form a slightly wider shape with soft or missing rims. Yet another major error that suggests significant mechanical issues inside the minting press at the time this coin was struck, and broad strikes do not typically appear alongside double strikes and off-center errors, because the conditions required for these mistakes to overlap are extremely rare, making a coin with all three, and possibly a wrong planchet even rarer than nearly any error coin ever documented. And this is the exact type of improbable mistake that fascinates collectors, because the more impossible the set of circumstances, the more valuable the coin becomes, and theories continue to grow around this dime, because some collectors and analysts believe the coin may also show signs of die misalignment or rotated dies, meaning that the obverse and reverse designs do not perfectly align when the coin is flipped, suggesting that the dies were not positioned correctly during the minting process, and die. Misalignments, although occasionally seen in older coins, are far less common in modern mint operations, which use advanced computer-monitored systems designed to catch alignment issues instantly. And this adds yet another layer of mystery to the 2000p dime, because it implies that multiple quality control procedures may have failed at the exact same moment, allowing a perfect storm of errors to escape undetected. And the more layers of mistake you stack together, the more dramatic and valuable the resulting coin becomes, because collectors know that each additional error increases rarity exponentially, not linearly. And that's why this dime is tied to a massive $4 million valuation. But beyond mechanical errors, some experts believe there may be an even deeper backstory behind this coin, one involving the possibility that it was minted during a transitional or experimental period at the Philadelphia Mint, where new equipment, newly refurbished presses, or alternate dies may have been tested or calibrated. And historically, such periods are known to produce unusual strikes, experimental test coins, or improperly mixed planchets that occasionally slip through the system. And some of these unintended survivors have become some of the most valuable coins in the world, precisely because they were never meant to exist. And if the 2000p dime is one of these rare survivors, its value skyrockets, because transitional or experimental coins are among the most desirable heirs known to collectors. And the mystery surrounding how this dime left the mint only strengthens its legend, because under modern minting conditions, especially by the year 2000, such a flawed coin should have been caught immediately, flagged for destruction, and removed from circulation before it ever had a chance to reach the public. And the fact that it apparently escaped means something unusual must have happened. Whether it was a sudden mechanical malfunction, a moment of human oversight, a misfeed of planchets, or even the accidental mixing of test strikes with standard coinage. And it's exactly this kind of mystery that drives collector demand, because coins with unexplained origins always attract massive attention, especially when their errors are visually dramatic and undeniable, making them the perfect combination of rarity, beauty, and mystery. And this is why the 2000p dime has achieved such incredible notoriety in numismatic circles, because it represents the ultimate example of a modern era coin that defies logic and pushes the limits of what the minting system should allow. And the sheer number of overlapping errors, wrong planchet, off-center strike, double strike, broad strike, dime misalignment, and possible experimental origins, creates a scenario so rare that the coin becomes a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly, the kind of piece collectors dream about discovering but almost never do. And beyond its rarity, the coin also symbolizes hope for treasure hunters everywhere, reminding people that extraordinary finds can still appear in the most ordinary places, tucked away in pockets, change drawers, bank rolls, or forgotten jars, waiting for someone with curiosity and passion to recognize the treasure hidden within the tiny details. And this thrill of the hunt is exactly what keeps the world of numismatics alive with energy and excitement, because every new discovery fuels the imagination of collectors everywhere, inspiring them to keep searching, keep learning, and keep believing that the next life-changing find might be right around the corner. And the incredible story of this 2000p dime serves as a powerful reminder that even in the age of advanced minting technology, perfection is not guaranteed, and when rare mistakes do occur, they can create treasures beyond imagination, transforming a simple dime into a multi-million-dollar marvel that captures the attention, admiration, and curiosity of the entire coin collecting community. Last, today we are diving deep into one of the most unbelievable tales in modern numismatics, the story of a 1990p dime that has stunned experts, shocked collectors, and captured global attention, because this ordinary-looking 10-cent coin is believed to have reached an astronomical value of $11 million due to its extremely rare, mysterious, and extraordinary errors and mistakes. And as we unravel this fascinating journey, we will explore every possibility, every minting anomaly, and every tiny detail that could elevate a simple Roosevelt dime into a multimillion-dollar treasure hiding in plain sight. So imagine holding a coin everyone overlooks every day and discovering it carries a fortune that could change your life forever. And that is exactly why collectors chase error coins with passion, because the right combination of rarity, minting flaw, condition, and historical intrigue can turn a common pocket change coin into a once-in-a-generation masterpiece worth life-changing money. And the 1990p Roosevelt Dime stands as one of the most intriguing candidates for such valuation because this year, this mint mark and this series together create a perfect storm of numismatic mystery. Starting with the Philadelphia Mint, which produced millions of dimes in 1990, but among these massive mintages, only a microscopic fraction could have slipped through quality checks carrying dramatic errors, such as double dies that cause the design elements like the date, the word liberty, or the motto "I in God we trust" to appear doubled, shifted, or ghosted. And when such doubling is strong, clear, and visible without magnification, it skyrockets the value, because dramatic double dies are among the most sought-after errors in American coinage. And then we have the possibility of off-center strikes, which happen when the blank planchet is not properly positioned between the dies, resulting in part of the design being cut off or shifted, and extreme off-center errors, especially those where the date is still visible, command incredible premiums because they are both visually striking and extremely rare. And beyond these popular errors, there are even more exceptional possibilities like a wrong planchet error, where the dime was mistakenly struck on a planchet meant for a foreign coin or another denomination. And these mistakes are unbelievably scarce, because planchet mixing at modern mints is nearly impossible under normal conditions. So if a 1990p dime was struck on a copper planchet, a clad quarter planchet, or even a leftover foreign coin planchet from a minting contract, its rarity would instantly make it a high-profile collectible worth millions due to its uniqueness and mystery. And another intriguing error possibility is a missing clad layer, which occurs when the outer nickel-clad layer of the coin is absent, exposing the copper core underneath, giving the coin a reddish, goldish, or uneven appearance. And when such errors occur on dimes, they stand out dramatically because the color contrast immediately grabs attention, and collectors know how rare such mistakes truly are. And we also cannot ignore the presence of broad strikes and multiple strikes, where the coin expands without raised rims or receives two or more impressions of the design, creating wild, distorted, and captivating visuals that turn a simple dime into a true numismatic oddity. And on top of these physical minting errors, there's always the possibility of a transitional or experimental planchet issue, because mints occasionally test different metals, adjust planchet thickness, or temporarily use leftover material from previous years. And if a 1990p dime was struck using a transitional composition or planchet weight not authorized for circulation, that would elevate it into the same legendary category as the most famous error coins ever discovered. And then there's the factor of condition, which plays a monumental role in value, because even the rarest error can lose significant worth if the coin is heavily worn. But when an error coin appears in pristine, high-grade, nearly flawless condition with full details, full torch lines, and an attractive surface, it becomes exponentially more valuable. And this leads to the idea that the $11 million 1990p dime would not only possess a dramatic, eye-catching, unique error, but also exist in a condition so exceptional that it borders on perfection, making it the holy grail for dedicated collectors, auction houses, and museums alike. And now imagine combining multiple errors on the same coin, such as a double die with a wrong planchet, or an off-center strike combined with a missing clad layer, because such multi-error combinations are so unbelievably rare that they often exist in only one known example. And when a coin becomes a unique specimen in the world, a true one-of-a-kind rarity, its value becomes virtually limitless, depending only on how much passionate collectors are willing to bid at auction. And this is where the story of the $11 million valuation becomes believable, because history has shown collectors pay staggering amounts for unique, mysterious, and visually impressive mint errors. And when a coin carries an intriguing backstory like a mint worker's oversight, a mechanical malfunction, an unnoticed planchet mix-up, or a dramatic die deterioration event, it becomes more than a coin. It becomes a piece of living history frozen in metal, and the 1990p dime's value also gains momentum from the rising popularity of error coin collecting, because more people today dig through pocket change, coin rolls, and old jars searching for hidden treasures. And as public fascination grows, demand skyrockets, leading to higher market values for even moderately rare errors. So when something truly extraordinary surfaces, buyers are ready to pay record-breaking prices. And part of what makes this year so intriguing is that the Philadelphia Mint was undergoing various technological and die maintenance adjustments during this era, meaning die fatigue, die polishing mistakes, and striking pressure inconsistencies were more likely than in today's fully automated high-precision environment, thereby increasing the possibility that an unusual and spectacular error may have slipped through unnoticed, and collectors love coins that ignite imagination. And the idea that a 1990p dime could hide a combination of doubling, planchet anomalies, striking misalignment, and extreme rarity creates excitement that energizes the entire hobby. And that is why stories of multimillion-dollar dimes continue to inspire collectors to keep searching, to keep learning, and to keep believing that hidden treasures still exist in everyday change. Because every coin has a past, every mint mar has a story, and every mistake made at the mint leaves behind a trace that could transform into fortune for the lucky person who finds it. And ultimately, the 1990p dime, believed to be worth $11 million, symbolizes hope, possibility, and the thrill of discovery, reminding collectors everywhere that even the smallest coin in circulation can become a giant in value when it carries the right combination of rarity, beauty, mystery, and historical significance. And that powerful combination keeps the hunt alive for all of us who cherish the world of numismatics and continue searching, learning and uncovering secrets hidden in the coins we hold.